just to start these things, I always like forget exactly what we're gonna even do. This is Subject Borealis. Yeah, haven't fronted on camera yet, I don't think. I recently integrated with a bunch of other fragments. Yeah, I think I might have been in a video before that. But yeah. Sweet. I'm gonna get my comments on the tablet so I can read it. Sweet. Good. What's up, everybody? Oh my gosh, 22 people. What's up, dude? Hello, everyone. Wow, someone's from DC. Oh, hey, what's up, guys? Hey, Renee. My gosh, everybody's here. The thing on my tablet just totally didn't catch up until now. That was hilarious. It went from 2 people to 33. Dang, that's awesome. Welcome, everybody. The doggo, he's doing really good. Right now, he's hanging out in the living room unsupervised for the first time in a while, and he's been really good. He's not really causing any trouble, and he's only just sniffing Drago a bunch. He just wants to be friends with all the cats, but the cats kind of smack him sometimes, but they're usually really good to him. I don't know if you can hear any background noise, but he's like playing with something in the background. Hey Kayla, what's up? Awesome paintings. Oh, these are from not high school. Feels like high school so long ago. College. Andre did these, and they're let's see. This one is called the Where Am I T-Rex is called Lost in the Sauce. That's what the that's what the name of that one is. Longtime lurker, welcome in. Hollow has been good, I think. I don't know. We're kind of far away. Yeah, well, I said my name when there was only 2 people fronting, so I'm gonna say it again. This is Subject Borealis fronting right now, and yeah, I don't really have anyone co-conscious with me. I don't think. I had Beige and Frankie earlier, but they kind of left, so that's pretty good because yeah, Frankie can be kind of aggressive sometimes. Yeah. Puff must sniff the cat. Yes. It's hilarious. He'll go up and like a boop noses with Drago, and Drago will just be like, "What the frick?" Yeah, how is Hollow? I think he's okay. His room kind of turned into a spaceship and went up into space and is kind of near the Behemoth. So I think it seems like he's in a good place right now, but nobody on the other hand, oh man, so about that, that's an interesting development. He's no longer inside of Chasm. So originally our OG trauma holder, nobody was in the belly of what looked like a gigantic kind of cloudy beast, kind of like stuck in its stomach, and he got taken out of there by some of the really kind of inner worker alters, really dark ones who will not appear on this channel. At least I don't think so. Yeah, she does not seem to be the type that we would put on the internet. Yeah, she took nobody out, and then the one altar went back from the big cloudy form into like a regular form because it was kind of like putting a blocker in something to keep it from completely connecting. And once nobody was out of the other altar's belly, the other altar was back to being themselves again. And so that was an interesting experience. But now we don't know where nobody is. And we're a little bit concerned about that, but we'll find him. I mean, he can't be anywhere besides in our head. So that's a plus, all right. Oh, Mario system, what's up? I was in space, yes. Any new changes you know of in the system? So many. So many. Yeah, we found the ruling oligarchy of our system, which is something that, yeah, I didn't think we'd really get to speaking with them and communicating with them as if they were equals, which is super weird now that we're just having conversations with them. And yeah, we're learning how to kind of live as an adult as a system and kind of not have our, old traumatized behaviors trying to be applied to our current life. But yeah, it's scary that we don't know where he is. I'm smiling right now, but it's like a reflex or something. I'm not happy right now. I'm like, eh. You know that one emoji where it's like just the two eyes and the mouth, like, not the smile one, the grimace one. That happened a good month or so ago. So the shock has kind of passed from us of the whole, oh my God, we don't know where he is, to the whole, okay, he's probably not in harm's way given the pattern of how alters have been treating each other recently. So he's probably just placed somewhere, probably in some kind of maze. Because it turns out there's a lot of those in the inner world, but that's something you just find out later in life, I guess. Oh boy. Oh yeah. Who is Behemoth? How is Chasm? You tell us about them personality wise. Oh, the Behemoth is a spaceship. The Behemoth is a spaceship that kind of looks like a horseshoe crab, but it's flatter and it's kind of like a tannish dark brown. And it's out in space. It was Terrence's idea, I think. It was kind of just like a spare conference ship they had floating around, and we were like, hey, we should make that a kind of common ground because we don't have any common ground on the planet. In our inner world planet, there is just so much territorial behavior between alters. It's really difficult to actually get them to communicate with each other in a common area without someone being like, well, this is my land, so my word means more than yours does right now. And then it goes into a whole big thing. I swear to God, I watched this whole thing go down like secondhand because I'm not part of one of those big families. I'm kind of external. So I kind of just watched all this drama and these big system debates go down as kind of an outsider of the system, but still in the system. It's kind of hilarious. But yeah, we made that to kind of be a common ground. We got some people to stay up there, but it's kind of weird. Alters just ended up back on the planet. I don't really know how. I didn't pay attention because I wasn't there. I just stayed on the planet because I was integrating with a bunch of the other fragments and stuff, and I kind of needed to stay in that one house where I was with all of them to kind of make sure everything was okay. And not that emoji. The 1 second. The emoji that looks like this. And send. Yeah. That one. What's up, Xander? Hey, how are you doing? Yeah, that's a previously mentioned emoji. Just the grimace. Yeah, long time no see. This is the ether system. Yeah. Oh, who is acrylic and who is ether? Oh, this is ether. Acrylic is our partner. Yeah. What else was there? I think I missed a question. Probably. Oh yeah. What is chasm like personality wise? They're very defensive. They are very much in fight or flight mode. Kind of skittish, but definitely one to stand their ground. They seem very like windy, if that makes sense. Very, their element is definitely air, if that makes sense. Probably not, but whatever. Oh, I'm gonna spell it. I'm gonna write my name. Subject borealis. Yeah, like aurora borealis, because I kind of have a aura of color that kind of follows me around a little bit, almost like it's almost like an Instagram filter almost. Um, After I integrated with the other fragments, I used to not have that. I used to be subject M, and my hair was blue, and I was just pretty regular looking. But now I have that kind of aura around me, and it's pretty awesome. What else is there? Yeah, how are you and the Goblin Queen? Pretty good. Getting better. Definitely getting better. Yeah. Our health is improving, which is great. Our stomach hasn't really. I don't know if it has actually improved. We didn't follow up with the doctor yet because we've been dissociating too hard to actually call during their actual office hours, because they have really inaccessible office hours because they're specialty doctors, so they only operate during specific times. And during most of those specific times, they're at lunch. So that's been a time, all right, but we'll get it figured out sooner or later. We've stopped drinking as much energy drinks. Like, I went to Dutch Bros and got a medium one, and this is the first energy drink we've had in like 5 days. So that's good. We're kind of getting out of fight or flight mode. We kind of realized, like, we had this realization of, oh, I've been in fight or flight mode for at least a year at this point. Definitely since Gresham, and we haven't calmed down since we moved here, so it's time to start trying to get everyone to chill out and stop running on pure adrenaline, because that's not good for getting healthy again. It's better to run on food like a normal person instead of adrenaline and anxiety. I don't even know, man. Let's see, what else is there? You guys should find a way to send some marshmallows to Hollow for me. Oh, that'd be cute. Yeah, we should. Yeah, we need to find where he is in outer space too. I think he's just kind of orbiting the behemoth. Either that or he just like went up into the landing place and has just kind of stayed there. That's kind of where Terrence's really big wolf is. It's about the size of Fenrir, and his name is Baxter. His name is Baxter, and he is, yeah, Terrence has a very large wolf. He kind of powers the ship sometimes by running on a treadmill when he gets bored. Yeah, on the inside, some altars have outlets for their emotion and energy and stuff, like, manifest a treadmill for the angry wolf which wants to run. You can kind of do those things sometimes because you can't always just, drop everything and start running around when you're at work. It doesn't always work that way. Yeah, that doesn't work that way. Sometimes it's really hard to channel energy from altars into what you're doing, because sometimes you'll just have a flood of feeling. Like, we've been dealing with a lot of anger emotions recently, and just, I mean, not outwardly expressing them, just feeling them and trying to figure out how to healthily process them instead of just letting them sit there and holding it all in and just staring at the wall for hours. Because we have a lot of irrational anger reactions, and we think a lot of it's related to the stomach issues, but it's hard to tell. And that's not something that gets fixed overnight, even though I really wish it was. Yeah, that would be super bomb. If I could just fix our stomach. A lot of us on the inside heal super, super fast, so that would be really awesome to just apply that to this, but I guess you can't do that. I wish. Did an integration happen? Yeah, a few integrations happened actually. There was me, so there was subjects lettered A through Z, and Xavier is subject X, and he was left out of this whole equation. Everyone else is now. Oh, hey, yeah, I was subject M. M is kind of like middle. Yeah, everyone kind of integrated into me. It took like 2 steps. Like, there was the bulk of them, and then there was some of the more distinct ones. And now it kind of feels like I'm just holding them all together with me, and like Like I'm finally able to protect all of them really well. They're just all yeeting around downstairs. Yeah, Odyssey is super hyper. And if you hear any kind of like hooting sound almost coming from the sides, those are the doves. Yeah, any bird sounds you hear that sound like possible owls, those are doves. Mourning doves have totally fooled me into thinking they're owls before, and I was like, oh man, you're just a fancy pigeon. Because essentially they are fancy pigeons. It's wild. It has to be a crazy treadmill that a werewolf can use, lol. Yeah, it's bigger than the kind you use for horses. It's like that, but just kind of scaled up, like a horse treadmill, but just bigger. This whole gigantic room that's big enough to fit a bunch of small spaceships. So over in the corner, there's like, the treadmill that kind of generates the electricity. And that's really good for if they need to go fast somewhere, the wolves can kind of, put their energy into getting altars to other places in the inner world because it is so freaking big. Sometimes it's hard to reach each other. Like, it may seem like, oh, you're just wanting to have a big, wonderful place full of fantasy in your head. And it's like, no, we needed room for these people so they would start as few wars as they could. And sometimes that means keeping people super far away from each other. And now we're looking on like land masses in space kind of scale. Like, Vanaheim to Olympus. We've got Olympus, and then we've got the other one, and then the other one, then 2 or 3 more, and then the top, and then a bunch below. That's our system development. It's kind of like a solar system, but up and down, almost. Kind of like a tree, like a large cosmic tree. Oh, how's work going? Really good. I hope everyone is doing well, including Nova, Parsifal, Liberty, etc. It was a pretty big Trummiversary recently. Um, yeah, and that was one of those ones that impacted Parsifal and Nova pretty heavily. Nova's doing okay though. Like he's been fronting more recently, and he took a couple of shifts at work, and he actually gets along really well with the coworkers, and everyone thinks like everyone was complimenting how we looked that day when he was fronting, even more so than normal, and we were just like, what the frick, dude? It's because you're not wearing the glasses, isn't it? Yeah, someone complimented him. One of our coworkers was like, wow, you look like a different person today. And he was just like, thank you. And continued on with whatever it was that he was doing. And us in the background were just sitting there like, oh my God, bruh. So we've been dropping hints that we're a system at work. We told one of our coworkers, um, yeah, we haven't really talked too much about that with him, but he seemed really interested and open. So hopefully he's not just doing that thing that some people do where they're like, oh, super cool, and then they pretend like you never said that. Yeah, Nova also was like, hey, like, I mean that. Like, you can talk to me about that stuff. It's super chill. Like, I have a flipping YouTube channel. Let's see. Yeah, but you said there's owls? Sometimes. I've seen one owl in the wild in person. Actually, no. A few. I remember there's one at our college campus one time, but I haven't seen any out here, I don't think. I've seen a couple of bald eagles, but yeah, mostly those and hawks. No owls yet, but I hope so. Owls are awesome. Though apparently, like, according to some Native American legend, they're seen as a sign of bad luck. And it's like, what? Owls are like, I don't think I could say spirit animal. I don't know what that is. Like when you're like connected to an animal spiritually, but it's not a spirit animal, you know? There's like another one. I forget the word. Everyone else who was more spiritual was all into that stuff and had all the words and stuff, but that was years ago, before I was a fronter. and I don't have those memories. Yeah, everyone used to be super spiritual and stuff, but who's got those memories? Whack. Oh, my hair looks really cool. Thank you. We shaved the sides ourselves yesterday. Yeah, it actually turned out pretty good. I messed that one up a little bit, but oh Jesus. There we go. Yeah, I think it was whoever it was that was shaving the head, I think it was beige. He kind of freaked out a little bit and like shaved a little bit up in our hair and had to kind of smooth it out again, but managed to do it okay. Yeah, sometimes we just have these like they're almost like tics, but they're not, I don't think. I don't know what to call them. Random convulsions almost. Yeah, usually those only happen when we're feeling really anxious or there's just like a bunch of crap going on the inside or someone's trying to punish someone else by inflicting mental pain on the other. That happens so much, guys. Like, oh my goodness. Alters can be so violent to each other in the inner world, but I'm not going to talk about like a bunch of violence today. I'll just be vague. Be like, yeah, that can happen indeed. But yeah, alters do that, and you have to figure out how to make them not sometimes. And it's really difficult because a lot of the time it feels like people are just telekinetically like smacking each other, and you're like, bruh, chill out. You're giving me a headache, and I'm just literally in the middle of this somehow. It feels like that battle with Harry Potter and Voldemort when they have the energy things and they're kind of just like going back and forth sometimes. That's what it can feel like at times when alters are like fighting about something and going back and forth. And it can get really irritating. Let's see, what is a memory? I don't know what that is. I don't have any. I'll let you know if I find one of those just laying around. Body spasm, muscle spasms. Yeah, yeah. That's a good word for that. Definitely. That sounds a lot more right. Yeah, there are a lot of weird kind of muscle issues we have sometimes. It almost looks like seizures, but they're not. I don't know what to call those. We're thinking like, somatic something, somatic seizures, somatic symptoms. I'm really bad at this. Wow. Dude, I came from the labs in the inner world and I'm really bad at medical stuff. Oh my god. I'm ashamed in myself. Oh, let's see. Pinning the name of the altar who is talking would be helpful. Let's see. Do you still have wars? We've had a few fights, but we haven't really had any wars recently because everyone's kind of like, oh my god, people are coming in from space. What's going on? And they haven't been fighting them because they don't know what the space people have on their side as far as technology goes. I don't know what they've got as far as technology goes. Man, they got lasers. Who knows? No shame. Like PNES? Maybe. I think so. Yeah. Peripheral. I believe that's a peripheral nervous something system. But I'm gonna pin my name because that would be helpful for people. There we go. Cool. I think I pinned it successfully. Non-epileptic seizures. Yeah, that was another one. Yeah. 1 second. I'm cold. Yeah, I know it's like summer and supposed to be warm, but I still get cold a lot. We always kind of just end up in a blanket and kind of just hunched over, but whatever. It is comfortable. I think that's the proper side. I always really don't like it when the tag is on the side that my face is on. I know we're not alone in that. Because, you know, if it's the tag is by your face and you like brush it up against there, that is just crackly and uncomfortable. And it feels like something that shouldn't be touching your face. Ugh. But that's just us. We've always been that way. Hey, someone made it to alive. What's up? Psychogenic non-epileptic seizures? Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah. That blanket looks so cozy. Yes. Walmart. I think it was only like $7. Yeah, if we're definitely ones for finding good deals on things. Keeping a budget is a really good way to kind of go about through life as systems. Dang, just feels like my words got messed up from the inside. That's really rude. Man, dissociation be like, I should probably just put on the glasses and stop tormenting my eyes. That'll probably help me ground, even though I'll look like a nerd. I'm just saying that affectionately because it's just a big ongoing joke of calling people nerds and stuff. It was nice seeing you too. Thank you for stopping in, everybody. Yeah. What happened to Weed Wednesdays? Oh my god, that sounds awesome. Dude. If that was Beija's thing, we have really bad amnesia with him. I only remember like the thumbnails from those things. Hashtag just autistic things or hashtag just sensory overload things. Oh, big mood. Your glasses are awesome. Thank you. Yeah, we've been looking for some clear ones for a while, but we do need a new prescription. We've been looking for a good eye doctor in town. We've been looking for a lot of doctors in town. We haven't really found too many good ones in town, but we found some in the surrounding towns, so that is good enough. Honestly, that's about the same as what we would have been doing back in Portland and Gresham. The amount of time it would take to drive from doctors, places to home and stuff is about as much time as it takes for us to drive from here to a surrounding town and back. Yeah, I love small towns. It's super rad. Oh, every one of us is valid, strong, loved, and deserve to be treated with respect and compassion. That's very sweet of you. Thank you. Your class is about to end. Be back ASAP. Good luck with your classes. Isn't it like about time for people's classes to be ending? Yeah, like good luck on finishing those things out. I know those exams are probably just so different than what exams used to be and stuff. So I'm high right now. Kind of same. Only a little bit. The job is going really good. They they have a couple of shifts for us moved from closing night shift to an hour earlier, which means that's kind of a promotion. I'm super excited for that. It sounds like Odyssey is chewing on a water bottle. I don't know why he would do that. Animals are so random. But yeah. Um. Oh yeah, work is good. Yes. Yeah, people really like us there. And we get a lot done really fast. We're one of the really fast-paced workers. We can definitely measure out a lot of things really quickly. We were working in production for a while there, which is taking the weed from basically giant storage boxes, putting it in this large bowl and then weighing it out into gram containers and 2 grams, eighths, quarters. Sometimes more than that. It depends. Someone leaves as soon as I start talking about weed. Yes, I sell weed to people as a living. Surprise if you didn't know that yet. I'm a bud tender, legally. We got the certification like a year ago, I think. More than a year ago. We were trying to get this job for a while back up in Portland and stuff, but boy was that hard. There's a lot of competition for that stuff. And yeah, any kind of jobs are really hard to find up there at this point, or they were last summer. We put out like 6 to 8 applications, and they were like, "Yeah, we'll call you back." They never did. And I was like, "All right, that's fine." And down here, I got hired within a month of applying. I think. Yeah. Yeah, we've been working there since January. That's like 5 months. Oh boy. That's so awesome. Let's see. Is exploring the inner world fun? I can only imagine exploring an entire world and meeting new people would be an exciting thing to do in free time. Have you ever played Silent Hill? it's it's starting to feel like that. It's starting to feel like Silent Hill. A lot of things aren't what they appear to be. There's a lot of dark things hidden in benign buildings, and it got a little scary for a minute there. Our inner world, personally, our brain is a scary place. Like, that's our system. That is us. That is not the case for a lot of systems. I'd say we're probably not. Yeah, I don't know if we're a good representation of like a big portion of systems. Like as far as like large polyfragmented ones go, we share a lot of characteristics, but we're kind of a chaotic mess. But yeah, like some places are really fun. Some of them are homey and stuff. Oh my goodness, what if those land masses were actually those ones from our childhood? Those like maladaptive daydreaming kind of places. Oh man, what if that's what those are? Oh man. Your brain is a scary place. Me too, buddy. Oh, big mood. Your kid just graduated. Congratulations. So you failed one of your classes. Oh, that's okay. I failed classes too. It's rough, but it happens. You can get through it. I believe in you. One class does not determine your entire being as a person. You mean a lot more than one failed class. And we even have trouble with that sometimes. Like, we're 3 classes short of our degree. 3. And we're just like, oh, I want to take that, but what if we fail? I want to get this done perfect, and everything. And we had this whole absolute fear of failing for our whole experience in school, and that was just really rough on us as a person, our being, our psychological and physical health, all of it. You're so lucky your exams are canceled. Oh, that's awesome. How are we? Not too bad. Yeah, we're doing pretty all right. A lot of dissociation recently. Oh yeah, subject borealis. That is me. Yeah, this is the first time I think I've appeared on this channel like as myself after the integration. So, yeah. Sweet. I just got out of the last meeting of a disability club. Oh, hope it went good. That sounds like a good club to have. Your exams are canceled. Yeah, that is so awesome. Love it when that happens. Dream job. Yes. Yeah, we really like having the job of being a bud tender because it allows us to help people without having to do like medical things, like taking care of urgent needs, like say if someone broke a bone or something. Like, yeah. You just sometimes got to be careful about what you give people. So that's why we're always really cautious about what we recommend if people come in for medical purposes and stuff. Yeah, I wish the states across the board would legalize it. Same. Like, then we could use debit cards and stuff in our stores and people would stop complaining at me about that. I'm just like, okay, dudes, it's this many dollars and this many cents, and they just like hold out their debit card, and I'm just like, we're cash only. I'm sorry. We have two ATMs in the store though, so I always just show them, be like, sorry, we're cash only, but we have our ATMs right there, and then they're usually like, okay, and then they just do that, and it's good. But yeah, if the whole states would legalize it, then we'd be able to do things like use credit and debit cards because those are like federally associated things. I'm pretty sure that's why. I'm pretty sure that's why that's kind of funky because some credit card companies are like countrywide and not just Oregon and California and Washington. Yeah. Still legal here. Missouri sucks. Or still illegal. Yeah, illegal in Missouri. Dang, that does suck. I know some places are getting it medically, but they're being like super super strict, and that's rough. It's kind of hard when it's kind of in that in between stage because people can get it, but it's really difficult to, and there's a lot of people who actually need that stuff for like, legitimate pain and anxiety relief, and those people are having extreme difficulty getting the one thing that works for them, and I think that's kind of uncool. So I'm really looking forward to when it's all legal. That's going to be super bomb. You give your dogs empty bottles with food in them with the cap on so they have to work their brains to get the food. Yeah, yeah. Some people do that with cats and treats too, where they cut holes in those and the cats have to smack it around. We tried that with Willow once and she hated it. She was so mad. She like sat there and glared at us like, "You're kidding me, bruh." Like we put her food in there, we're like, "Okay, you're gonna have to work to get your food because you need a little bit of exercise, Willow." That was back when she needed a little more exercise. And she just sat there angrily the whole time. We were like, all right, fine. But nowadays, she's running all over the place. Like, all the cats are outside for a good couple hours every day. There's enough windows so that we usually see them around. And yeah, they're able to go out in the yard sometimes. They love it. Let's see. Oh no, not Silent Hill. How have you been feeling lately? Kind of at a loss, I guess. Yeah, kind of having a long-term existential crisis. I know I'm not alone in this. Like recently, we've been super foggy as fronters. Yeah, federal banks and credit card companies. Yeah. See things. We never get to see the kitties anymore. We work a lot. Yeah, we don't have a lot of pictures. I think we might have a few. We keep just forgetting to take pictures of them because usually we're just running around the place kind of busy. We're now figuring out how to balance our life schedule, which is good. It's taken a long time. Excuse me. We're finally figuring out how to be able to fit in hobbies and doing chores while not flipping out the whole time. It's been really good. And to figure that out during a traumaversary time, I'm just like patting us on the back a little. Comparing apples to cats. Yeah. Yeah, seizures are definitely a confusing topic. There's a lot more to them than people are, you know, researching, I think, or at least giving accessible information about. Like, there's more than one reason that your muscles would spasm. Like, there's a lot of issues and such. What's the phrases? Yeah, I forget medical terminology so much. Dang. And the thing is, we went to college to be a medical examiner, like the one of the people who does autopsies. That's what we were gonna do. Have we eaten today? Yes. We had one of those Nature Valley granola bar thingies. Yeah, I don't think we ate the whole thing, but that's okay. We ate some of it, which is good. And then what else did we have? This doesn't count. This is just caffeine. Yeah, it sucks. We ended up with a wicked bad caffeine addiction. So, trying to get that to be less of a hindrance has been an adventure, to say the least. Throat's a little scratchy. Yeah, the air here is pretty dry. It's definitely a different climate than what we were used to. It's a lot of fun, though. Yeah. Yeah, the idea of actually figuring out anything about our inner world isn't a pleasant one. Yeah, it seems like it would be really fun on the surface, like it's a fantasy land full of dragons and castles and mountains and cool people with wings, but oh my god. These freaking, they all have very dear places in my hearts. But freaking Christ, sometimes these people just make me want to scream. But they're on the inside of my head, so I'd just be screaming at nothing. Screams at mirror. Sometimes we talk to mirrors. Yeah, sometimes that's how we communicate, is through mirrors, which kind of makes it interesting because we have like two. We've got one of those ones, and we've got that arm one by our bathroom. So that kind of creates three planes, and that leaves a lot of room for weird co-conscious conversations to go on, and just a lot of words in our head. Like, you glance over to one mirror and your face is, slightly this way, and then it's a little bit different in the other one. You did that and got yelled at. Oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah, we're totally not alone in the mirror communication thing. We don't talk about that a lot. Oh my gosh. We should. We just figured that was, yeah, mirrors are kind of like a taboo thing almost. Yeah, mirrors are really taboo with d.i.d. I don't think Split helped that. Like, oh my god. Yeah, no. And not social media, the media isn't doing a lot of good for d.i.d. Yeah, I mean, The Many Faces of Jane was really good, but after that, I don't really see a lot of good ones. There's that one British documentary that was really good, but it took 5 ever to be accessible in America. Like, my gosh, guys, I don't have one of those. Yeah, I don't know if we have a VPN or not. Probably. Well, let's see, what else have I missed? How to balance with self-care. Balancing self-care is a very interesting challenge. Yeah, it's a lot harder than it sounds. Like self-care just sounds like, oh, take 5 minutes and breathe. And it's like, no. What if those breathing exercises make you dizzy? Breathing exercises make us really dizzy most of the time. Like those ones where it has that shape where you breathe in and out. That thing will make us almost faint. And people are like, yeah, use this to ground. And I'm like, it'll ground me for about 5 seconds. And I'm like, oh crap, I'm feeling really faint. And then I just sit there like, ugh, for a minute. And then it's kind of rough. I think it's because we don't breathe with very much of our lungs. We pretty much only use like the top bunch of our lungs to breathe. We don't really use our stomach to breathe. We kind of always keep it tight. We always keep our stomach muscles tight because we have issues. We have issues, to say the least. My goodness. Hope you got Amazon packages. Yes, we did. And I'm pretty sure we got the ones you're talking about. Got that tapestry, and we're gonna put that downstairs behind the couch. That's gonna be awesome. And we got that one pillbox that's kind of like a cylinder. I should have brought that with me because it's got my anxiety medicine in it, but I left it way downstairs, and I'll show y'all another time. Yes. You've had a tick attack in the midst of a final, which caused a lot of focusing troubles. I can imagine. Sometimes tics can get really distracting. Keep your head up. I don't know if you mean physically or metaphorically. Metaphorically, we're doing our best. We're kind of looking more on the positive side recently, and that's been really good. Like, kind of focusing on smaller things instead of trying to look at everything at once and do everything at once. Because that's just how you get overwhelmed, and then you feel cruddy again, and then you're like, darn it, this is right where I was 5 minutes ago. So, yeah, it's another thing to find balance with. Here, one step at a time. Yeah, we need better glasses. That's why I keep like leaning forth, is because I've got this tablet, which is I'm reading the comments so I can see, because this is too far for me because my eyes are not very good, I guess. I'll make this do the standing thing. That's a little better. Yeah. Everywhere is legal in Canada. Oh, that's awesome. Bro, your country is on the way. Oh, I hope it goes through too. Yeah, I think the comments got bumped up. Whoops. Y'all should consider putting room humidifiers on the wish list. Good idea. Yeah. Yeah, I think I might have to do that because we could use some humidifiers in the house because, oh my God, my skin is literally super dry. Our knuckle skin was cracking the other day. Like, in the middle of a transaction and at work, our knuckles just started bleeding, and we were just like, whatever, I'm continuing on, and continued on with the transaction. And I don't think the guy noticed, which I think is pretty funny. He's 140 in India, and you can't stop watching. Oh, that's cool. Well, welcome in. Yeah, 140. It is, what time is it? It is 1:15 p.m. here, 1:15 in the afternoon. Yeah. So you're about 12 hours difference. Almost exactly. That's cool. Mirrors trigger our persecutors. Yeah, for a while there, like our persecutors would just like use mirrors to torment other altars, but now they kind of toned it down a little bit. Our persecutors have stopped kind of persecuting as much. We tried to make a big ginormous list of altars, organized by roles just to kind of see what roles we have a bunch of. And on persecutors we have two. And documented we have like 200 and something. And we have a bunch in the protector persecutor category. And yeah, that's interesting because yeah, we used to think that we had a lot more persecutors, but they stopped being aggressive as much towards other altars and started being kind of more extremely defensive, like aggressively defensive in a way. Yeah, they kind of just realized like, oh crap, things out here are really bad, bad enough that I should not be adding on to how bad things are because that could actually have a really bad impact. So they did not. They stopped being so aggressive towards the rest of the system and started being more, you know, keeping us ready for what if something bad happened. Thank you. Our longer hair looks nice. Someone told us on Instagram yesterday that they liked it better when it was shorter. They're like, personally, I liked your hair shorter, but you look beautiful in any way. And I'm like, ouch. Like, we've been working for a while to grow this out because it makes us feel more comfortable to have like long hair but short sides. Like, it's not a femininity thing. Like, we enjoy the idea of being a dude with long hair. And people are really weird about that sometimes. But there are tons of dudes with long hair where we live now. It's like a thing. Like, I swear every other dude we have come into the shop has got a ponytail. And it's pretty awesome. There's this one dude who looks almost just like us in town. It's crazy. He's got even like the same hair color, but he doesn't have his sides shaved. But he does have hair long enough to put into a ponytail, the same color, and he's got like the same glasses. It's wild. Let's see. I only remember little bits of my inner world, and I know they're all connected, and it's so confusing. Like how there's a hotel hallway, a spaceship, and an empty void. Like, sir, how do you connect? Oh, mood. Yeah, it is hard to make things connect sometimes. There's like bits. What is a British documentary called? I can't remember what it was called, but I know the polyphonic system and is it the galaxy system? They're a couple and they're just precious and wholesome and just fantastic. I feel like I just lost control of my face for a few minutes there. We've been having a lot of that, a lot of weird amnesia. That's a thing that we were going to talk about. Weird amnesia and not being able to tell who's fronting. Like, we saw a few people, making videos like, people talk mostly about altars, but not too much about the dissociation aspect. And we've just been over here, like, all up in that dissociation aspect. Like, yeah, bruh. What about when there's no altars fronting? Because sometimes that's been happening a lot of the time with us. We have just these times where you can't tell who it is, and it's kind of just this homogenized mash. We kind of just joke around on the inside like we're just a big blend or whatever. And yeah, we can't tell who's fronting a lot of the time, especially at work. Especially at work. Like, oh my goodness, that's the place we are the most like that because it's like, all right, let's just get a good group of protectors, ANPs, alters who can do work without losing their crap and get those guys together as much as we can and at the front. And usually it's a few altars at a time, usually like two or three at work. Usually it kind of defaults and ends up being beige, and yeah, he's doing his best. Like we're kind of surprised. We're surprised that he would do that again after being the host in middle school instead of violently being like, "No, I'm not doing this again." He was like, "All right, yeah." Because, back in the day when we were in middle school, we were like totally an apocalypse prepper. Like, oh my god, Resident Evil was like it was our special interest. Yeah. Zombie apocalypses were our special interest in high school and middle school. And, we even found in our old belongings some old medical masks. We used to collect those whenever we had them. We'd go to the doctor and we'd get one of those blue mask things. And this was back when we were like 10, 10, 11. And we'd keep those. We'd keep them in our closet, just in case. And look where we are now. So Beige has all just been like, my suspicions may be correct because, we're kind of living how we were preparing ourselves to live, which is weird because, we were all ready for something like apocalyptic. Yeah, I fear for where the world is going right now, especially with the people with how they come into the stores these days with no masks. People are getting really weird about that. Like, I just want people to respect it when other people choose to wear them if the rules are lifted. Because, we went out to the park. It wasn't the park, it was Crater Lake. Yeah, it was Crater Lake. I'm thinking, if my face is turning red, it's because I'm just like aggressively trying to get these memories back. Yeah, for real. People are like, oh, you don't need masks now. And we were out at Crater Lake and Acrylic, and we were both wearing our masks outside because one, it was cold, and two, we were in a public area and we might have walked near people. There were people around. They might have walked near us. It's good to have your face covered sometimes. And some lady leaned out of her car window and was like, "What, are you afraid of some fresh air?" And they were like, "Yeah." And then the lady just started like yelling like crazy and psycho and all sorts of stuff. And we were just sitting there like, dude, go away. Like, go away? Who asked you? Random lady in a car. We're random people on a street to you. Why are you screaming at us from your car? And I know that's going to be happening a lot more too. People are going to be like, oh no, it's just going to go back to normal. No, people are going to be really weird about others wearing masks. I feel it in my bones. You know humanity, guys. Sometimes you just know humanity. And we're going to keep wearing masks. I don't care. That's where I was going with that. We think they're cool. We thought they were cool before they were cool. But no, really, we had some weird, like, special interest with masks before the whole thing started. We even bought a few at a convention just because we thought they were cool. We've got timestamps from like 2016 with us wearing them fashionably to conventions, and we misplaced those. Hopefully, those will get refound again, but now we have a whole flippin' collection. We made a meme for just our own camera roll that was like grown ass adults refusing to wear masks and throwing literal tantrums in stores. Us with our literal mask collection. Then it was us with the box just like flipping the camera off. Like, why are people so aggressively against it? Some people are really aggressive. And I don't see why they have to be so aggressive. Like, I understand that people get frustrated and stuff, but to be like flailing your arms, like flapping the mask around in someone's store, You shouldn't do that. We work in a 21 and up store. This isn't the place to be flailing. Yeah. British documentary. How do you feel about the United States of Terra? Oh, yeah. I feel like that was kind of like a classic almost. Like one of those old age kind of depictions of d.i.d. before all this new stuff started coming out. Yeah, it was like that same age as the woman with seven, was it seven personalities or five? No, seven. She was British. That was a really good documentary. Yeah, that's a really interesting case too. I feel like not enough people have seen that documentary, The Woman with Seven Faces. It's one of our favorites. It kind of helps us feel a little bit more okay with having like child alters in our system because for the longest time we were just you remember that vine of that one gray cat where the guy's like, Charlie, be nice to the babies. Charlie, be nice to the babies. And he smacks the kitten off of the the cat. The cat smacks one of his own kittens off of the nightstand table. That vine, that's what it feels like in our system. It's like, guys, be nice to the children, and everyone's just like, run away from the kids and just don't confront this. Do like the whole like cloak thing. Like, no. I did the thing. I literally put the tag behind my face. That's what that crackling noise has been. What are the odds? What are the odds? Welcome back to the chaos. Yeah, we've just been a mess this past, I don't even know how much time it's been. I don't know when we're gonna be quote unquote normal again. Is this normality? I don't know. I just closed my tablet by accident. We have issues. Gosh, what a freaking mood. You wanted to be a mortician when you grew up? Yeah. That was kind of our train of thought. It was like, yeah, autopsy person. What was the word? Oh, there's a word. Medical examiner? Is that what that is? I can't even remember what that was. Look at that amnesia. Jeez. But yeah, we wanted to be someone who does autopsies, and then if we couldn't do that, we were thinking about being a mortician, and then we were thinking about being a nurse, and then we were like, I'm done with this medical stuff. Like, nah, bruh. Then we tried to be kind of a medical or a scientific illustrator, and that has just so much strictness to it. It's kind of drawing, but if you really just want to reproduce what's in front of you on a piece of paper, instead of really creating creativity pieces. Bruh, normal is so overrated. Exactly. Yeah, I don't want to just make normal things into normal drawings. I want to have some good times, like making these and having these drawings be literal. Those were assignments, college assignments. Yeah, we made those for school, and it was a good time. It's weird to think that we were in college for 4 years. We're out of college. We have a house. We made it this far. I'm just sitting here like, this doesn't feel real. It feels like when you finish a video game and then you have like kind of like free range space run ability in some games. Like you finish the quests, that's like, all right, you finished the quests. Now there's not a direct path for you to follow. You can just finish your side quests and do whatever. And you just sit there like the caveman SpongeBob meme. And that's what we feel like. It's like, what do I do now? You done good. Thank you. Yeah, a lot of our system didn't think about what we'd be doing after school and stuff. We thought that school would just be the whole thing. And yeah, the more we think about that, the more horrible it sounds. And the more just morbid our life sounds. But we made it this far, so like caveman SpongeBob meme, I cackled. Yes, it's my life. Asthma gang. Asthma is rough. That's how you are. It doesn't help that you have asthma. Yeah, asthma is a challenge. Yeah, I don't think we have any long things. Hope. Yeah, don't think so. Our allergies are all in our eyes and sinuses. Yeah, our allergic reactions are all just like eyes, throat, and sinuses. Yeah, pretty much. Even with food, it's usually our throat that gets kind of messed up. We're allergic to soy, which is so random. Soy and sage. We're allergic to sage. How ironic is that? And yes, we do know there's alternatives. I know that we have Palo Santo wood and some sweetgrass. Oh, I just sat on something pointy. I thought that was a bug that was like biting me or something. Thank goodness it was not. That would have been awful. Yeah, you got your vaccine early because of asthma, so at least it did one good thing for me. Good. I'm glad that went good for you. Yeah, good job. Yeah, I heard a lot of people get really roughly impacted by the vaccine, so yeah, we haven't gotten it yet. We have not done that yet. It really freaks us out that they give you a certificate for that. It really freaks us out. We're like, dude, this seems like some I Am Legend level stuff here. Am I the only one seeing this? Guys. Guys. Which is another good thing about moving to such a small town is because we'll have people who just we literally had a dude come into our store and lie saying that he got the vaccine to get out of wearing a mask. He still had to wear one because it's our store policy though. He was like, oh, I didn't actually get one. And I literally stopped what I was doing to look over and glare at him. He wasn't even my customer. But I wanted him to know that I was mad at him for doing such a lie in my store. And then I turned to my customer and I just gave my pleasant eyebrows and I was like, okay, I've got your stuff. Let's go check out at the register. And I really hope that guy noticed that I gave him a very big frown. And if he comes back and does that again, I will do it again. And I won't give good hospitality. I'll give mediocre customer service. Oh. Right, I was talking about amnesia. Yeah, that just reminded me because it just felt like my face did a thing again. Like I lost it, but then I got it back again. It feels like there's just a bunch of panes of clear glass and I'm kind of just like going sideways and kind of diagonally. And it's really weird. Yeah. Yeah, it's a bunch of very like ANP kind of normal type alters usually at work and stuff. So we usually just don't really question it, kind of just roll with it, be like, okay, just get through the work day and get home and do whatever. Excuse me. And then we just don't question like, wait, who was that guy just now? Just like, oh, it was probably Beige or Riley or a Dramalek or whatever. Yeah, Dramalek turned into such a jock. He is awesome. He used to be this like a terror on the system. Hey, welcome back, Alex. What's that? Yeah, the chat hasn't moved. Oh boy. The chat hasn't moved for a while. I'm just gonna click to the bottom. So if I don't answer your question, you know you wrote it, feel free to ask again. Yeah, that's the way it goes with our stream. Like, feel free to ask your question again. Like, if it's been a while and we've done that refresh thing, it's okay to send your question again. Oh, Fang, I hope y'all are okay. Guys, the world's on fire. Yeah, like literally. I really hope that this summer is not as much as it was last summer with the fires, because that was really bad. A drama like, oh, his name is really bad. How does drawing and painting help you? Let's see. It kind of makes the invisible visible for us in a way. It's a way to convey kind of our feelings without having to put words on it, because words sometimes just don't work for that. We really want to get into animation so we can kind of describe like more feelings because sometimes one image just isn't enough. But it also helps you to go back and render things that you couldn't find imagery for. Like we've got a painting over there that's simultaneously one of our childhood memories. Or no, yeah, one of our childhood memories, one of our childhood nightmares. We think we had a nightmare of the memory. Probably. It's faced away from us right now. The thing is just the back of the canvas is over there behind like that tower organizer thing in one of Hollow's paintings. And we haven't looked at it in like a week. We live a very interesting life. It's weird to just sit and look back and be like, this is just how I be living, man. Like I know this all sounds far fetched. Like my story sounds like something you'd only see in like a book or something, which is something we've just been really, bickering back and forth at each other. This Netflix level BS. Oh my god, just cussing each other out because of our own memories, and it's been a lot of turmoil on the inside, and we're trying to make everyone stop being so angry. Trying to make everyone stop being so angry. If that's not the sentence of the year, I don't know what is. Yeah, we've been trying to make everyone stop being so angry, and I feel like a lot of our anger is originating from one of the platinum diamond altars. And people make a lot of Steven Universe references at them, but I I don't personally really see it. Like on the inside for us, they're different than them. Do I have any drawing? I don't have any drawing. I do have drawing. I can show you where a lot of our anger is coming from. This one altar. This drawing isn't done. Alright, so yeah, I'm just gonna trigger warn this image that I hold up for, I suppose, occult imagery, antlers, somewhat facelessness. But like, just cover your eyes and I'll tell you when it's clear when I hold it up, okay? It's got slight rune-like patterns and fangs. All right, image going to be shown. Looks like this. I don't know if that is what his face looks like or not. All right, it is clear now from the slightly scary image if you have looked away. Yeah, our own altars, we have to trigger warn our own altars, which kind of sucks. But like, they're supposed to look terrifying in some cases in order to keep altars from doing things that would, change what they're doing, would interfere with what that one altar is up to. Or some of them look the way that they do in response to things that happened out here. Like, if you look scarier, a big tough monster would be able to handle a trauma better than a tiny little child, you know. So that's why a lot of our scary looking altars, like Big Teeth Guy, he's a trauma holder. He's a trauma holder. I'd say possibly trauma holding persecutor, but he only lashes out at others because I don't think he knows how to communicate in any other way. And yeah, he's only fronted like once. Yeah. Yeah, he only fronted once around Acrylic and kind of just like laid down and leaned up against them because no one had been nice to him before. Because he's kind of a hazard to anyone in the inner world. In the inner world, altars can be a lot meaner to each other than out here because there's less repercussions. It's the inside of someone's head. What can you do, you know? So there's a lot of a lot of people being really mean to each other, and it can be a challenge. Lost where I was going with that sentence. Keep losing my sentences. Are they being taken from me? I don't know. Probably. I should put the comments back on my tablet so I can see what is going on. I said, hey, what's going on? Not now, YouTube. There we go. If I had amnesia, would I remember if I did? Sometimes. Sometimes you remember if you have amnesia because you're like, wait, what just happened? And you just have lost the past couple of hours and you know that there was time that has passed. You're like, what just happened? It is, yeah, it's a challenge. Though sometimes you just go forever without realizing it, and then you look back on years or whatever, and you're like, this is so patchy. Is this how normal people's memories are? I guess I'm just forgetful. Whatever. Do. Go on with your business. And that's how I feel like a lot of people go a while without realizing they have DID. And I feel like the older generation really kind of pushed that, like, push your emotions down thing and just continue on and be as productive as you can and get your house and white picket fence and stuff and all that. And just, you've ever watched F is for Family? That one scene where the dad is just like, keep, just, you feel that emotions, just keep pushing down until you stop feeling it pushing back. And the kid is just sitting there traumatized, like, oh my God, how could you say such a thing? And I'm just sitting there like, that sounds so relatable. And that's probably just how previous generations just treated mental health and stuff, which is why there's such a bias today trying to push it away, being like, oh, just don't even think about that because that's how everyone is raised to do it. And so now we gotta not do that. Just keep pushing, pushing, pushing. Yes, it was that. It was so bad, but so accurate. It's bad because it's accurate. Uh, yeah, there's no normal. Ooh, you want to be a pediatric psychiatrist? Oh, that'll be really cool. Yeah, I feel like if there's more therapy for children, then more things will get treated better earlier. Like, even though it's kind of just really awful to see sometimes, you know, I'm on DID support groups and I see parents like, oh, my 8-year-old with DID, my 6-year-old with DID, and everyone in the comments just goes after them. And sometimes it's not the parents' fault. Like, our mom tried to stop that from happening, but she wasn't the cause. She just kind of didn't exactly help in most situations emotionally as a child. I think. I can't remember. I know that she made us very stressed out about religion when we were a child, and that's most of what I remember. I just remember a lot of not wanting to go to church. But yeah, sometimes I see that, and it's really hard to watch, to see like parents actually coming forth with these kids, but it's good that they're trying to help them. You gotta kind of like force yourself to look past, like, it's actually a good thing. It's not bad. They didn't F it up as parents because their kids are systems. What if they had really crappy uncles as well? Something like that. like, sometimes parents do want to help their kids, and it's really good when parents do want to help their kids. I feel like more parents are going to be more willing to do that as, you know, Gen Y and Z get a little bit older. The lessened taboo of mental health will really help the kids. Save the babies. Like, oh my god, I feel like so many things could have been prevented to so many kids if people had just gave them better therapy and like help them as adults too. Like kept them from seeking out abusive people at myself. I think that's just a big problem with people with mental illness, is they kind of just gravitate towards unhealthy things sometimes. Unhealthy coping mechanisms. At least I do also. Maybe I'm biased. Probably. Probably biased. We've got very unhealthy coping mechanisms. We should probably talk about that more. That we're trying to be healthier. We're trying to do more journaling and keep more of a record of what's going on. Uh, we've gotten a couple of books on stuff pertaining to our system structures. Gosh, how do I say these things? Unless not eating. Actually, sort of. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes, made our thighs touch this morning. And I know that's not something that a lot of people would celebrate, is not always having a thigh gap, but when you're not expecting to get a thigh gap and you have one, you're just like, go back, go back. And we're finally getting more healthy again with staying more hydrated. We've been working on drinking more water, and we can even see that in our hands. Like, this used to be kind of caved in, and our ring would completely fall off, but now we got a little more traction again. Though we've been having trouble with that for like a while because these ulcers have been an ongoing thing. But now that we have resources and yeah, our workplace encourages us to eat a lot too. Like, they always have snacks and stuff. And my boss is always like, I always want to make sure everyone's well fed. And so she gets snacks. And sometimes there's a local donut truck that'll give us their leftovers, which is super awesome. But the guy looks at me really weird. And we're just like, quit giving me that face, you knockoff Gordon Ramsay. He kind of looks like Gordon Ramsay. But he's kind of like a redneck. He's got like a redneck way of speaking and mannerisms and attitude, but he looks kind of like Gordon Ramsay. A lot of people are pretty weird about us, but they were to begin with. People were always weird about us to begin with. That's why I try to keep remembering or reminding people. We may live in a small town that's more right aligned, but socially it's about the same as what we were facing back working at Target. We still got the same amount of weird looks and weirdness. It's just like a different scenery now, like going from one area to another area in Pokemon. We have played so very little Pokemon in our time. I think we've only played like 2 games, and that was the newer ones. Not like the newer ones, but like when they started being quote unquote newer, and people started really not liking them. But we have very hard times focusing on things sometimes, and the other version was really good on graphics. Yeah, our eyes are really difficult with screens and graphics a lot of the time. Like, oh my goodness, this has been such a problem. This is why we've had to start the endeavor of printing out 700 pages. We're saving up all of our change and taking it to the library and going chapter by chapter, printing out this ebook because we can't have it on the screen and work with it effectively. And it's such a challenge, but we're making it work. We got a nice binder to put the papers in, and we've been highlighting the pages like crazy. It's been really interesting. It's been really helpful. Felt like we've actually had a fighting chance against what we've got going on the inside, because the inside of your system can really impact your body and how it works to a scary degree almost. Like, yeah, I guess it's a slight trigger warning for somewhat of violence, but yeah, we've had alters try to stop the breathing before. Alters will literally like clamp the mouth and sinuses shut so we can't get air in or out. And that's hard to deal with sometimes. It just kind of looks like we're spacing out for a minute and then like take kind of a deep breath. If you're externally watching, it looks like there's nothing going on most of the time because we're a covert system. So you're not going to clearly see what's going on. Most of what we experience is like sensations, and you can't see that. You can't really see what someone else is feeling, which sucks, which I wish people could see what others were feeling. That would save so much trouble in this world. To save so much trouble in this world if others could just see how the others are feeling. But yeah. I lost where I was going. I'm gonna find it again. Darn it. I lost what I was saying. Whatever. That's scary. Oh yeah, stopping breathing. Yeah, that is scary. That's freaking terrifying. Not gonna lie. I say it kind of cheerfully and stuff, but like I said, the initial shock on us has passed, and now the grimace through it phase has begun. Like, this is not super new to us. This has been going on for a few months now. Actually, since probably about August of last year. Off and on. But, yeah, the initial shock of, oh my god, they're actually trying to kill us from the inside. That's kind of just passed, and it's like, oh, you're just trying to fight me now in the body instead of just like in the inner world. IRL. It's IRL for me, not IRL for the body. When you're an alter, the inner world is IRL. Oh man. I'm far from normal. I can tell the weather before I even get out of bed, LOL. Yeah, sometimes we can too. Only sometimes though. Sometimes you can just feel in the air, like this, it's going to be rainy today. Sometimes if you have bad joints, you can tell in your knees. Let's see. want to see what these messages are. I know I missed something. Oh my lord. I need to refresh this more often. Oh yeah, you're very concerned about with us is when things get rough, some alters go, yeah, anorexic and dysphoric. Some alters will not eat on purpose, very, very, very purposefully, because it just feels like it's an unnatural process for them. It won't be like a forgetting to do that. Sometimes it'll be like, oh, I'm depriving the body of food because I'm being persecutory right now. But usually it's like, this feels unnatural. This feels so wrong. We shouldn't be putting objects into our face. Like, yeah, it's still me fronting. I've just had passing co-consciousness from random people. Some beige here and there. And a couple others, but I can't grasp, you know. The ghost train, for instance. Oh, the ghost train doesn't really front anywhere besides behind the wheel. Yeah. I think the ghost train has fronted once or twice not in the car. And that was, yeah, when we were just standing in front of the mirror. The ghost train doesn't front when we're not driving. We don't know what it would do because it has no reason to front because it's not driving. It's just in the body. But, yeah, I'm interested to see. I don't think it would do anything. I don't think it would move. Yeah. Does the ghost train make noises? Yes. Kind of like a very low humming noise. Usually just in like a singular tone. And I don't even know anymore. The train has spoken. It's spoken a couple times before. The voice is really raspy. I imagine the ghost train would find organic food to be unprocessable. Probably. A lot of us have difficulty eating solid foods, so we turn to non-solid foods. We're making a lot of smoothies lately. It's a lot easier to drink things than to like eat things most of the time. So we figured out how to basically turn just like meals into liquid form with a good balance of nutritions in there, and then just have really thick smoothies for meals. Usually we put like an Ensure in there, uh, various fruits. We'll probably, we should probably make a recipe video for that. Kind of, food for when you can't have solid food, when you can't do solid food, and kind of go like a walkthrough on the kind of smoothies that we make, because we do that in a way so it's not just a drink, it's more of a something more solid. And yeah, it's kind of how we've regained some mass, which is good. Like, our cheeks are looking better, not as empty, which I enjoy. Oh, you've been losing weight from hyper-focusing and stress. Do you have any tips to help with eating more? I'm not underweight, but I feel weird being as light as I am. Yeah, it can get weird when you just like lose a bunch from stressing and stuff. Definitely try to get at least a balance of nutrients. Like try to cover most food groups, eat something vegetable, something fruit, something grain, possibly something dairy if you're able. That's kind of iffy with most. And definitely something to drink, definitely hydration. Try to get, as much nutrition as you can, even though you may not be able to eat like a large volume of material. Still good quality will help you. That's what we've been trying to sort of do, like eat, even though it's a small amount, it being healthy rather than like chips or whatever, get like a handful of trail mix, because the way that we think about it is eating is going to be unpleasant either way. Either way, I'm going to have a terrible time consuming this food. What does it matter if it's this or this? Like, it's both going to suck. Like, let's be real here. And so we kind of think of it that way, like this is going to be better for us in the long run, better for our body. And since this is just going to be an unpleasant sensory experience, what's the difference? You know. Let's be honest, it's a thing that's a bad coping mechanism. Oh, yeah, it is definitely a bad coping mechanism. We're trying to get better about that, but it's hard. It's really hard once your body has learned to make itself run off of adrenaline and stress to make it go back to running off of food. It's like, I swear, converting a whole machine almost. Uh Basically, thus, I swear, finding a lot more robot alters. So they've been there for a while. Like they were all there in high school, then they were all just like peace, and went to the next planet in the solar system. But now they're kind of coming up more, especially since that one kind of sprung into action a year ago. Our little hero, we got a special spot in our heart for that one robot alter. We haven't really heard anything more from them yet, but we're very appreciative. And there's a whole bunch around them too, but they're kind of a little bit more apprehensive about letting themselves be known to the rest of the system. So that's a communication bridge, a gap that needs to be bridged, I suppose. I think that's when you need to work on your system communication. I don't know. I'm really bad at these things. It doesn't help because Beige, our new host, is not used to having d.i.d. Like literally, he was all upset the other day. He was all like, "I'm not used to having d.i.d. even," and uh, yeah, he doesn't even know how to deal with having alters because this was before we knew of each other. Was when he was the host. We figured out about there being other alters just about when he was switching out with the next one. I can't say who that is. It's not Devin. He was the one after that. And then it is Beige again. Not fronting. I mean, as our default alter. Defaulter. Bad puns are good sometimes. Liberty's been coming around a little bit more too. Like him being the head of a subsystem has been kind of a challenge for him, but I think he's really learning to manage now, which is good. Our room looks awesome. Thank you. Yeah, this is a corner in our office. We sit here a lot. We moved our rug, so now it is here instead of by the door. Now we have a good background, but I still want to do something to the door because it is just a plain door with a bunch of. It looks like someone used it as a dartboard. Like the previous owners tried to play darts all the time on the door. Hooligans. So we're definitely still gonna paint it, do something with it, make it look better. Yeah. Oh, my heart. Wait, let me go back down to the comments. Have you guys ever had a population boom, like a lot of alters being made all at once? Sort of. But have we heard anything from Dylan Groves? Mural on the door? We still want to do a mural on the door. Yeah, we haven't heard much from Dylan Groves recently, which is concerning. Yeah, there's a lot of systems who've been going quiet on social media. Quark's system too. So if anyone knows anything, like keep an eye out for them. Yeah, like keep an eye out for Dylan Groves and Quark systems, both of them, all three of those systems, because there hasn't been like anything from them for a while, and very concerned. Multiplicity and me as well. They've been active on Instagram though, like they're still going, but the other ones have been completely like dead air on all the social medias. I've even been creeping on their Instagrams. Does Jake still have a State Farm bar? Yes, he does. He does, and it turns out that Jake probably has a bit more than he's willing to admit to him. Yeah, Kayla. Big time of that. Yeah. Much concern. Oh, you can't be on Instagram, no cell phone. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, they're active on Instagram, so don't worry. Multiplicity in me is still posting somewhere. The other systems, not so much, though. So, yeah, I'm definitely keeping an eye out because I want to see if they're okay. Oh, yeah, I'm kind of a worry wart for others. And let's see. Yeah. We stay on his bar. State Farm. How many khakis does Jake own? He usually kind of wears the light grayish pants, I think. No, he usually wears the jeans. Dang it. We do own khakis, though. We used to have like 3 or 4 pairs because we used to work at Target, but now we only have like one pair that fits us and one in storage, in a storage box that we just put on the top of the closet. Enough to get the job done, yeah. Hey, welcome back, Renee. But yeah, we have enough khakis to have khakis if we need them, but not enough for them to be like a staple in our wardrobe. Usually we wear like joggers, and we started to wear more jeans, which is pretty good. Our legs are looking pretty good in jeans recently. We used to be super self-conscious about the way our legs were shaped, but after the whole ridiculous weight loss thing and yeah, everything started just falling off of us. We're just happy that things fit now, honestly. It's difficult when all of your clothes are way too big for you. You feel like you're just swimming in fabric all the time. It's ridiculous. It's frustrating. You have to keep fixing your belt all the time. Ugh. And it kind of sucks because social media is really funky about that too. Like, eating disorders, being skinny versus being fat. Being skinny is now just like, oh, whatever, you're just skinny. Then there's like the whole like fat positivity movement, but it's not like pure positivity always. I've seen a lot of like pushing down others in order to raise up others. Like, don't be like, oh, skinny people, whatever, psh, you guys suck. Let's focus on this. Both people have disorders. Both people are heavily disordered. Like, why are you focused on both? Because I just see so much aggression. I'm really just bored of aggression at this point. All these fights online and stuff. I just sit back at this point. We're just watching almost from a third person point of view, and all we see is patterns. All we see is patterns in drama now. It's just patterns to us. You say this, they say that in response. That response produces this response, to which you say that. And then you do it all over again. And then you get madder and do it again and again and start yelling. That's what we've been seeing drama as, basically. Why? So that's why we've just been completely detached from that at this point, because maybe we'll watch a couple of videos here and there, but not even gonna react. not gonna like or dislike. We don't want to be part of it. Sometimes we'll just check in to see how everyone's doing, but without question, how people will prove they're superior to that person. You don't. Because we're all awesome. And we're all wonderful people. Yeah, skinny shaming. Yeah, some people have problems with food or a high metabolism. Like, I in high school used to be kind of thick, and now our ring is falling off of our finger. Our little sister used to be the one that our family was always like, "Oh, you need to eat food." We're lighter than her now. Like, it's an issue. And I see all these posts on Facebook and stuff where it's like skinny shaming, and it's like, I didn't choose this. Like, I wouldn't have wanted to do this to myself. It hurts. Ugh. For a while, our mentality was, oh, this is trigger warning on this mentality. Only eat enough to make the pain stop. That was our mentality for food in Gresham. And now we're making ourselves not have that mentality. Kind of have a mentality of, let's just not be in pain mentality. Which is really hard. It is so hard when you have been just conditioned to punish yourself constantly. Hashtag us LMAO. It is like having to bend metal bars, I swear. Having to change people's whole ways of mindsets. Like, we've got that one altar that I showed you guys with the antlers earlier. That's the main source of our anger. There was a connection from that altar to a place where there was about 100 fragments. The anger from this altar was being poured into this structure, and it was kind of circular. There were like levels, kind of like a cake upside down, or like Dante's levels of purgatory or hell or whatever it is, the 9 levels. But there were 100 fragments on that, and the anger just went down and just rained down on these altars. And it was basically like the plains of fire rain from Dante's Inferno. And we disconnected that, and that turned into one altar. Those fragments all just went into one. But now that altar is, it's got one physical form, but has this bunches of wheels behind him. He looks like a Renaissance angel a little bit. That's Metatron. No one gave us a balloon. Oh my god. Oh no. It's 13 minutes a.m. there and you can't sleep because your heart is 112. Oh, that's a high heart rate. 112 beats per minute. Ooh. I think our resting was like 70. I can't remember. I feel like our heart rate has gone up recently. We haven't really checked it in the past year or so. It's probably not good. Oh well. It's probably improving in the past few months, which is good. Yeah, we're being more health conscious about what we're eating instead of just being like, at least I'm eating food in general. Try to steer towards healthy options. Mm-hmm. Shove object down throat to make pain go away. Probably the scariest sentence of that one update vlog. Honestly, that is just how our brain has been working. That has been our constant thing. It's like, God damn it, I have to cram these inanimate objects down my throat to make the stupid pain stop. And we have to convince people. We have to convince alters to consume things. It is hard. Have you guys ever watched Splice? I'm not saying split wrong, I'm saying Splice. It's a different movie. It's about like a scientific lab. I feel like I just lost like 20 minutes. Darn it. That one where trying they create this life form that's spliced from a bunch of different genetics. It's a very mature movie. I would not recommend it if you are easily triggered with medical situations. Definitely not for the weak of heart. But it's got some great moments in it, like one where they're trying to feed this creature, and it's like a baby. They're trying to feed it baby food, but it doesn't want to eat the food, and it just blended up vegetables. So they put like some candy that it likes. It likes someone spilled their Tic Tacs on the floor, and it likes the Tic Tacs. You put that in there, and then the creature eats the food. That's what it's felt like. That's what it's flippin' felt like with this body. It feels like I'm trying to force the strange creature to consume the food, and it's not easy. Oh, but we're making it work. We are making it work. We have found our really unconventional paths, and yeah, unconventional paths are sometimes the best paths. Taking the path less traveled by is the best path because that's a real fresh path. And it's even better if you can create your own path because that's your whole path. That's bomb. Oh god, so you had to see that one scene from Splice with your parents. Oh my god, that's terrible. Oh no. There's a very mature scene in the movie. It's so awkward when you have to watch this with your parents. I'm second-handedly embarrassed for you, my goodness. I don't think we've ever watched that one with our parents. Yeah, I don't think so. I think we'd only watch that one alone. But that would have been so awkward. And there are basically reasons we don't watch films, basically ever. Yeah, and I don't blame you at all. There's a lot of subliminal things put in movies that seem completely benign, but, you know, something as simple as that that symbology, yo. That was accidental too. Like I didn't realize that until halfway in the stream, and I was like, I should probably move these things. The sticker behind my head, even more so. I've been trying to block that the whole time. But some things just mean other things, and you don't even know it. Like colors. Some guy came into our work the other day and was like, there's a psychology as to the reasons why you're wearing the colors you're wearing today, like how you're feeling, or what you want to convey, or something you want to say. And some people wear all black because they want to absorb the negativity of others around them. But that's not always the case. There's a lot of reasons you do a lot of things. Colors mean a lot to us. They mean many different things. Like for us, black is like a uniform color, kind of. It's a not specific color that's connected to one place in our system because we've got like red and blue and green and gold. Those are like areas in our system. Those are alignments pretty much. And if we're wearing a red bandana with a green shirt, that could mean something completely different than if I'm wearing a red bandana and a black shirt. Could mean a whole different groups of alters are fronting. We kind of do that a lot with colors, especially, yeah, we do that a lot, but people at work don't understand what we're saying by that, which is kind of funny. It's kind of like our secret code almost. We like communicate through colors, but yeah, I don't know how much that gets picked up on. I think a lot of people mistakenly just read red as a Republican And it's like, dudes, no, I'm just wearing red because that's the color of these altars. It's a challenge. And the Far East at war again. Actually, the Far East is the blue and silver, and a lot of them have actually integrated into this one altar named Landon. So the head of the family, and then about 4 or 5 of the altars, excluding Hollow, Rift, Ozzy, and Alan, they were left out of the equation. The other ones were integrated in, and then Icarus as well, I think. And then I think another altar from the north. Those are now Landon. And he's very assertive. He's very assertive and strong willed. And when he's there, he's there. You can't push him away. You can't say, oh, you don't exist, you're just part of my imagination. He won't let you do that. He's not like, no, I am here. I am Landon. You cannot push me away. I was there as other altars. Now I am here. And yeah, a lot of us integrated ones are strong-willed. Colors, things. Hey, LMAO. Yeah, for crying out loud, we have altars with colors as names. And platinum, diamond. All them. Ugh. We have a lot of names that are kind of based in colors. Yeah. The more I think about it, jeez. Oh, Hollow, you don't, on Hollows you don't slash the O's. Those are normal. You did good there. He's alright. Yeah, nobody on the other hand, we don't know where he is. Let's see. Tweet message. Oh. Yeah, I'll just delete that. How do you delete things? Did I just like undelete a comment because whoops? I just wanted to see what it said. Hide. Yes. There. I know how to technology, right? Totally. I'm just going scroll. How can nobody be missing? Oh, he been stolen. So, essentially, once he was taken out of Chasm's belly, the one altar who took him out did not let go of him and then vacated the premises very quickly. We don't know where she went. We don't know where he took him. Yeah, Frankie was involved too. Frankie and Corbett has an altar. She's a subsystem. Surprise. She's a subsystem and has that tower. Turns out is a subsystem of her altar. It is a mess. It is a freaking mess. Like, there's a bunch of subsystems and a bunch of altars and a bunch of weird amnesia going on. So we've been just trying to make sense of it all and trying to put it on paper to make it make more sense. Put nobody on a milk carton, need to find him. Nobody is missing. Just the phrase. That's hilarious. But yeah. Yeah, we don't know exactly where he is. Hopefully he will turn up again soon. We're gonna go on a search and rescue mission. Yeah, we're gonna get that put together and kind of just do kind of a sweep. Because I feel like that one altar can be reasoned with, even though she's very nonverbal. I feel like we could talk to her somehow. We'll make it work. Sounds like a whole mess. Oh yeah. Will Hollow ever come down from space? Maybe. Probably. It depends on if he finds a better place or not, because he might just stay on another landmass if there's a better one out there, because we don't know exactly what's all out there. We know of a couple, like Olympus. We've known of that one since high school, and a couple of the other smaller ones, but never put that much thought into it. Should have. Someone would help us look if they could. Well, thank you. You okay with receiving bandanas via P.O. Box? Absolutely. Depends on if we find another piece of blue for him. Yes. Too ready to make slime. That was fun. Wait, because Hollow's in space, will he see the subsystem or no? I mean, if he looks down from space, he could see them. Probably. Yeah, he could see the tower if he looks down with like a telescope or something. It's kind of just like if you flew up from Earth, I suppose. You looked back down. Weird question, sure. And what do you think about anime? We like anime. We used to be the leader of anime club in high school for like a year there. It was a good time. Dang it, I lost everything I was thinking about. Why? This has just been our reality for a while, just being so foggy all the time. You'd hold up a sign saying hello. Oh, thank you. Yes, people say we look like Lestat from Interview with the Vampire, and we are freaking living for it. What have you missed? Quite a few updates. A lot of scary crap, man. The inside of our head is not as delightful as it may sound. It's, yeah. Yeah, we're kind of a mess, but hey, we're scraping by. We are persisting. It's weird looking back and seeing how far away September was, because it felt like that would never end. Felt like September would never end. And yeah, like that fall was brutal. But we're in May now. Yes. What would y'all think about being in one? Oh, that'd be so cool. Green Day going through your head. You don't actually remember September. Oh, that's relatable. Is there a surefire way to know if I am part of a system or just delusional? Um, one of the ways that we try to see if this is just our own train of thought going wild, or if it's an alters, is to try to stop thinking the sentence you're thinking in the middle of that sentence. Say you're thinking, oh, I'm gonna walk the dog at the park today. Just cut yourself off in the sentence. If you can do that, that's your train of thought. If you can't, then that's something more like you're not in control of that. That might not be yours. If you've got alters, then that's kind of how we can tell if it's someone else's thoughts. We try to stop our train of thought and see if it just keeps going. Because if it just keeps going, then you can just listen to the other person's thoughts and be like, dude, what? Oh, yeah. Wait, if you don't know. Oh, yeah, the project about the inner world. Alter is if you read. Oh, interesting. Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be pretty awesome. Like, almost one who experiences the world. Like, the one who you experience the inner worlds, whose eyes you experience it through. It makes sense, yeah. That's really cool. I'm pretty excited for that. Like, part of us is really anxious because it's like, oh, someone's recording information about us. But at the same time, we're doing the same thing to ourselves with a ton of information and stuff. We've got a bunch of guidebooks and stuff and highlighted things and papers all put together. But yeah, it's kind of good to be known, I suppose. It's like good and scary to be known at the same time. Yeah, because it's like, what do you tell? Like, some of us are scary. Let's see. I hope this is not a stupid question. Oh, wir sprechen Deutsch. Yeah, we know German. We took about a year, I think. Yeah, we will just randomly start thinking in German sometimes. Spanish also. Sometimes we'll see the occasional Latin phrase. It's weird. Very rarely Russian. That's going to be happening more as we relearn that more. We're going to relearn Russian just so that we can communicate better with our really deep alters, because I feel like some of them are only going to speak Russian when we first make contact. I mean, for crying out loud, Sushin only spoke Aetherian when we first met him, and you know how things get mirrored on the inside of our system. Yeah, like themes that we saw in part of our system have been just, amped up and just put onto other layers of the system almost. Like, say, what's a good example? Man, all I can think of is really, really dark stuff. Oh, yeah. I can read that. There we go. Weird question. What does nature look like in your inner world, like the main biomes and weathers? It looks like a lot of like piney tree forests usually. Piney forests, pine trees. Um, evergreen. That's the word. Piney. Yes, I am from the earth, indeed. The lots of the pine trees, and then mountains, the occasional desert, and then the beaches kind of look like beaches in Florida. They're usually pretty warm, even if they're by usually coldish areas. Yeah, it's really dense, lush forest, really green, really clear feeling air. It's really good there. And yeah, the sky is a very light blue, super light sky blue, almost like it is here, but not quite. Oh yeah, definitely. We've got some Russian artists that we really like. We listen to a bunch of TATU. That's a couple of their alters favorites. Ooh yeah, for Sleepy Time Junction. Yeah, an art system art channel sounds awesome. Yeah, it's so weird how people get so much backlash about not showing distress. Like, what if you're unable to really convey words during your times of distress? You can't make videos about it. Like, we used to sort of be that way, but now we're kind of just, I don't even know anymore. But yeah, linking a channel is good. You can always, yeah, always linking resources is always a good idea. Like, the more resources, the more solid of a foundation there is to fall back on in case people are being real turds at you. So yeah, if you have a playlist on hand, that'd be a good resource if you'd like that. If you want to like refer people to things, be like, if someone's asking you questions that you don't really talk about on your channel, be like, hey, this person does that. We've been kind of doing that a little bit lately. Like things we can't really talk about. We're kind of like, hey, look at this person over here. They're talking about that. Support them. At least when we can think of good examples. Let's Let's see. Oh, yeah, what's the colors, the sunset look like? The same as real. We don't really pay attention to that. It looks like the same pretty much. Yeah. Emotionless alters should never get backlash if they are unable to convey emotion. Really, though, a lot of us have emotional hindrances. Very many of us. And the way that we hold our face and smile is almost a conditioned response. It's very difficult to control and break out of. Very difficult indeed. Like, it is a challenge, but doable, but hard. But it's a real thing. Masking your emotions is such a real thing, and people just use that as being like, huh, you're not feeling genuine feelings, you're smiling. It's like, dude, that's not how emotions work. People can smile and be unhappy. Like, that can happen. Smiles don't inherently mean happy. Like I could be as sad as heck right now, and like like that. I'm not sad as heck, but I could still physically smile. And for crying out loud, I work customer service. What is the one thing that is generalized about d.i.d. that you wished/wanted people to know or understand? That the name of the body is not the thing that you should be demanding constantly. Like, we don't have an alter named Devin anymore, but that's what's on our name tag at work. And when we have a conversation with some of our coworkers, we're gonna get that question of, oh, so where's Devin? And we're just gonna be like, we don't have one. There isn't one. There was. There was. But that's not the way all systems work. There isn't just one central personality with little bits broken off that are unclear. Odyssey is chewing on a bottle. This has been a real learning experience, learning about dogs. We've been asking Acrylic a bunch of questions about dog psychology, like, why do they do that? Dogs, why do they do that? Like, asking about why they, like, run into people all the time, or why they like to pull on leashes. Luckily, they know a crap ton about dogs, because we're not just trying to be annoyed all the time. We want to know what's going on. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we don't really look at the weather that much. Oddly enough, like, that's not something we focus on too much in our inner world. Yeah, we focus more so on what's under the ground. Yeah, insides of structures a lot of the time, or we try to. A lot of the time it's kind of like locating things, but it's like, yeah, there's a structure, but there's something about that structure inside of it. Or if more focused on that than what's surrounding it. Usually we just have kind of like a vague background idea of what the regions are like. And that's kind of just how it goes with most places, how it's always been. Yeah, we don't pay as much attention to the background as you'd think. It's weird the way our focus is drawn to things. Like, yeah, some people are just like, what even is the weather? I don't even know. What? We have weather? There's weather? And yeah. Yeah, it's interesting the way that attention is drawn to places and drawn away from things in the inner world just by slight diversions of attention. Like, alters can get away with so much. Like, oh my goodness. Alters can do so much just by, you know, slight sneakiness. And I know many people can think of many examples in their own systems. I can't think of many off the top of my head because I myself have a lot of amnesia after, especially after integrating. After you integrate, I swear, get more amnesia. It's lame. You're not rushing anywhere you're sitting, LMAO. Ask my alters to claim a thought or a hobby if I'm not sure if it's mine or an alter's. I'll think something like, who in here likes this pink jacket the most? Nice. That's a good idea. My only worry is I don't want your brain to create my character slash alter because it thinks you would need that, if that makes sense. It totally makes sense. Getting an introject of that alter. That'd be interesting. It wouldn't be that bad, though. I mean, out of alters that we could get, that's not that bad. I think that'd be pretty cool. Is there anything that does or doesn't or does exist in the inner world that do in the physical world? Oxygen in the air. There's not oxygen in the air in our inner world. That's probably why it feels so light. It's a metal, and most people make very strong weapons out of it, like swords and stuff. Mostly it is swords. Or like medical equipment. People will make like oxygen scalpels and stuff. And yeah, oxygen is a metal in our inner world. There's some weaponry that looks like if you take like a broomstick and put a record on top of it, but if the record was a metal blade, that's one of the common weapons of the West. I don't remember what they called it, but that's one of their things. It's really interesting. Is it okay to send butterflies necklace? Yes. We are absolute trash cans, and we actually kind of enjoy symbology. We're probably gonna get a death head moth tattoo, not gonna lie. We have a lot of butterfly things around. We just don't like to put them on camera because some people would not like that. But we personally are like, our water bottle at work has butterfly stickers all over it. Yes. What happened to the last guy? He gone? Remember the videos the system made when he integrated, sort of? Oh yeah, the whole thing with Devin. Oh yeah, wouldn't that be nice if you could have name tags according to who's fronting at any time? I'd love that. I think you can kind of do that in Discord, but we're very technologically impaired with things like that. Current alter count, no more than 1,500. Documented about 200. 1,500 if you include fragments, but 1,400 if you include integrated. It's a mess. We're just saying 200 and something at this point. Between 230 and 250. We're not counting what we're gonna find on those planets, but forecasting, it's a lot. And we're probably going to be integrating as we go, depending on who's where and what's there. Oh, that rhymed. I'm sorry. Big pizza slicer LMAO. You're not wrong. I'm good, thanks. Hey, what's up? Hello, welcome in. Still the Fallout system. Show repeating to us the system. Yes. Yes, give them a follow. d.i.d live. Follow d.i.d life. They are Fallout system. They had the unspeakable happen and one of their alters deleted their channels. That's like the number one thing that you don't want to happen. So help them get their followers back. If you've had previously subscribed to Fallout system, go check them back out. Would your boss be okay with you putting a name that all the usual Frenchers agree on, just so that the no Devon thing isn't weird. I don't know. I think that's kind of our thing. Like, that's our common name because there isn't one. So it's kind of like, what's a good way to describe it? Kind of a unifying thing in a way. Let's see, does your system have any one-letter named alters? I think so. Hashtag just d.i.d things. Mood. Let's see. Are people in the inner world that invent things like people do in the outer world? Or is it more things appear when they're needed? A little bit of both. People can build things and people can just like conjure things. It depends on what it is. Yeah, it depends on what it is. If you have all the components there, like sometimes you just have to put it together, but other times you don't have everything and you need to like manifest it. It's like 200 plus alters. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I did answer that one. Yeah. I don't think our boss would let us have the different name tags. We told her about that, but like, I swear, everyone we always talk to in the outer world thinks that our gender is more of an issue to us than our d.i.d. And it makes our jaw hit the floor every time. It's like, just ignore the fact that I'm trans, guys. Just, I'm in torment from my mental things, not my gender. I've resolved that a long time ago. Can we just leave it, please? I've defended it enough, haven't I? I think we have. Thank you for joining us, Abby. It's great having you here. We can totally have. Let's see. Do you have more human? Or we have more non-human alters. We have very few human alters. We did not go through very normal things as a child. So normality was kind of not a quality that our brain sought after. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Normality was not a quality that our brain thought was good for survival. It thought that that was not. Oops. Did I delete that by accident? Oops. It's great that everyone forgets that we are sometimes. I like that. I don't want us being trans to be something that we're defined by. I want it to be a characteristic, not a chunk of my identity. I already have a lot of other identities. Like, I swear, in my experience, the whole gender thing has just been a big fight against society. Like, really. It's just been a bunch of me having to defend myself against people who are just telling me that I'm not feeling what I'm feeling, you know? Like, you can't tell me what's inside my brain or not if it's there. It doesn't make sense. Like, a whole thing of people trying to say that trans people don't exist, and it's like, well, how do you explain this and this and this and this and this? These people are here in this material plane. How do they not exist? Like, bruh. This is literally a topic of argument that should have been left in the 50s. I swear. Most of the arguments we're having today should have been left in the 50s. And like, I see a bunch of like weird racist behavior amongst this town. Like, people are almost weird when I treat everyone exactly the same. And it's like, why would I treat anyone different? Why would I treat that lady worse than that guy? They're both here to buy weed. Like, really. like we have these debates on the inside about, you know, colors, species, people with wings versus people versus like centaurs. That's the racism we kind of deal with. People with wings, elves, partial humans. So like all the debates these days just seem so meta almost, you know? Maybe the reason why aliens aren't contacting us is because they're like, well, guys, get your crap together. That's exactly why they're not contacting us. It's because people aren't, like, on that level yet. They're not on the connectivity level. Like, we are all one, folks. Like, we're all people. Like, legit. Direwolves, Ghost Train, how many spaceships worth of non-humans? Exactly. We have people walking up to these T-Rex looking mother truckers, and the people walking up just happen to be giant wolves, and they're having conversations in English. Like, like if we can have a wolf conversing with someone, like, why are people racist? I can understand if it's like a T-Rex or something, but if it's another human, why? Mm, just like each alters have individual gender identities. Yeah, each alters. Yeah. Did I lose another few minutes? Yeah, people need to get past the physical form and focus solely on character. I love that. That's how a lot of us function on the inside. That's why a lot of us don't really say our sexuality, because we kind of just have that mentality. It's just like the pansexuality of, if I love who you are as a person, then I love who you are, and I love you because that's you. You know, like you're not just what I see. What I see is just what I see, you know. And if I was blind, that wouldn't matter at all. Unless it's like traffic and I'm walking into it. That would be bad. Oh yeah. Racism isn't about, yeah, it's systemic too. It's not just about the individuals. It's about people's superiority complexes and morals, but they're not good morals. And there's so much that goes into it. And people need to like not do that. It's gonna be a like a bitch and a half to break down all of that, like internalized racism and stuff. Because I was watching like this Netflix show the other day. Have you guys ever seen like Two Sentence Horror Stories? That one's really good. There was this one clip that was about a couple of sisters, and they were getting discriminated against in the hospital because they were people of color, and like all the people there had the not good wing of the hospital because of their color, and that's just that is not okay. That's probably all over the place, and I really hate that. And I really wish there was, you know, more action that people could like take instead of having to go to all these school things and make writing papers what you do to change the world. Wish you could just go out there and change things, but it's hard. You know, we all got to work together to make things better for each other. I can't just be like single peoples. We got to work together. Not enough working together. Yeah, love, not hate, man. All that. Racism sucks no matter what it's based on. Yeah. Oh yeah, inner world time. It kind of matches up with how it was here. Got the 365 day years. But time used to pass really fast until we figured out about the inner world itself. Then it kind of slowed down to pretty much the same time. Sometimes it changes color depending on what it's doing. Like the sun will be out even if it's like 3 in the morning because we're doing something in the inner world that's like really big. Like if someone's going through some structure or something, it'll still be light out, but it'll be like 2 in the morning, but it'll look like it's noon. It really varies. Super weird. Talking about it like you are now changes things. Good. I'm glad it does do things that I'm not just like screaming into the void over here because racism sucks all the ass and it's pointless. It is as pointless as drama. It's just a freaking cycle that just messes with people. Look, someone left, huh? Yeah, you don't like to hear the truth. Negativity is many cycles. There's lots of cycles involved in so many things. And if you look at things objectively, it all looks so weird. If you look at anything in life really objectively, it just starts looking so weird, and you're like, why are people doing that? What is the difference? Like, literally, there is no difference. Especially now that people are wearing masks, you can't even see what people's faces look like most of the time. So it doesn't even matter. And most of the time, like, my eyes are blurry because I'm dissociated and I can't even tell what people's faces look like. All I check is to make sure that their IDs are okay. And that it does look like them. Man, I don't get people's priorities sometimes. Will this live be up on the channel once it's finished? Probably. I'll probably keep this up. People have been worried about us. With good reason, I guess. I mean, after we've been talking about what we've been talking about, realize we're a disaster, but we're toughing through it. We're making it work. I know I say that a lot, but hey, you gotta keep yourself going somehow. And kind of just looking back at, how time has passed can be a really good thing too. Just to kind of see how far you've actually come. Like, that was actually months ago that this thing happened. Like, I made it this many months. You're gonna need to go again. It's all good. We should, yeah, I think we'll keep this up. We should keep this up. I didn't really say anything bad in this one. I just spaced out a lot in the middle of sentences and just sounded like a spacey dingus. I feel like the combination of my thoughts with my words makes me feel like I'm a lot less verbally eloquent than I actually am. Because on the inside, everyone's like, dude, you sound like you're just a freaking middle schooler. Everyone's really rude about that on the inside. Need to work on these things. Thank you for more references. Yes. I'm really interested to see how this goes. Spacey, what? Me, nah. Oh yeah, do different parts of the inner world have dances like it does war paint? Sort of. The West does these fire dance things. They kind of, use telekinesis and their fire to kind of, make shapes and stuff, and it's really cool. They do that for like festivals and stuff. The East sometimes does it. They're a lot more fiery. The far West doesn't do that. They live in trees. And the far East, I don't know. I have not seen them do pretty much anything. They're very inactive over there. You just have a lot on your mind. Nudge, nudge. So much. So the vague blur on the card looks like the vague blur standing in front of you? Yes. I just have to make sure that it's got the proper expiration dates It is not a fake ID, and it is not an expired out-of-state ID, because we can't take expired out-of-state IDs, apparently, at dispensaries in Oregon, so California too. I'm sure I wasn't the only goblin who's been worried about both systems. Well, thank you. We appreciate the worry, and we're sorry we keep worrying people, but we worry ourselves constantly too. Not gonna lie, man, half the time I'm just sitting here like, oh my god, am I gonna make it? And then the next morning I wake up and I'm like, huh, guess I did. Nice. And then it goes. So I'm guessing free samples is a no. Use some alternate stepping in. Trade samples, yes, actually. Not free samples are a no to the customers, but to the employees, we get trade samples so we actually know what we're talking about with the products instead of just being like, yeah, I totally tried that, and then not. Yeah, our discount is pretty good too, so that encourages us to, like, try what we've got there so that we can actually know what we're talking about. Only because we care. Do some alters not like smoking versus others that do? Some don't. A few others realize that it's more of a for a lot of them, they prefer smoking to food, and it's annoying. Yeah. Your daughter is back, must go. See y'all. See you later. Alright, you too, Kayla. It was great to meet everybody. Yeah, I'm probably going to head out in a few minutes here because it's 3 o'clock. Acrylic is off of work, and we can go do whatever. I don't know. I don't know if we're going to do anything or if I'm going to try to mow the lawn today. I might try to mow the lawn. I really need to do that. The lawn is a mess. I feel like such an adult. All right. Buddy discounts a 6 p.m. Yeah, not bad. Oh, we inspired you to get your tattoos. We're going to be getting a new tattoo very soon here. We haven't decided what it is. We've got many options that we could pick from, but we haven't settled on what to do and what it's going to look like. It's kind of irritating and really challenging to pick tattoos because there's, rules on the inside about what we can and can't do to the body, and alters will try to enforce that, and it's a pain. Yeah, like we had piercings for a while there, and yeah, yeah, alters are really picky about things. It's not a democracy, like everyone knows. We try to make things a democracy, but it's hard to make people vote. It's not easy to find a voting system that works for our system. So we kind of just, go based off of how the feeling feels when presenting the topic to the system. It's like, I push forth this idea to the masses, and based upon what I hear back, I can conclude what their general feeling would be on this. Ooh, one of those was a tattoo you've wanted for like 22 years. Awesome. Yeah, it was good getting to chat with you too, everyone. Yes. A lot of people we haven't spoken to yet that we have got to speak to today. It was bomb. Yeah, it was really good catching up with everyone. This live stream ended up being a minute. Yeah. Ooh, just a video suggestion, but I personally love to see more videos about everyone's war paint and the history behind it. Yes. That is all the tattoo meanings you want have dark meanings. Hey, if it means a lot to you, then it's worth getting tattooed. Have fun mowing the lawn. I'm gonna get ripped. It's gonna be great. But yeah, definitely feel free to leave us more video ideas in the comments and questions you'd like to know. Like, we're always open to that. There's no such thing as a dumb question. We always like to say that because people are like, oh, this question might be dumb, but this and that. And I'm like, dude, no, it's not that dumb. Like, I've got that question a bunch before. It's not even uncommon. Fronting stations? We do not, but we should. We've been thinking about it. we've been thinking about it. Yeah, gonna try to enforce that. We tried to make something like that with a behemoth, but no, that has yet to be put into good usage. Alrighty. All right. Well, thank you all for coming. Thank you all for tuning in and being goblins. And we will see you all. I just got a message saying a rat is loose. Oh my god, I'm gonna go catch a rat. Bye, guys.